A lot more spunk after that first quarter and fighting back, battling back, even briefly taking the lead against the Miami Heat. They do not have enough as Jimmy Butler hits a buzzer beater to seal the game against the Chicago Bulls. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, have some fun, all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
The Chicago Bulls lose a hard-fought game against the Miami Heat, despite the Bulls, starting off the game playing extremely rough. The first and the third quarters, really rough quarters for the Chicago Bulls as they lost the first quarter by 12 points, lose the third quarter by 10 points, they end up winning the fourth quarter by 9 points, but they just don't have enough down the stretch of this game. One of the big stories that's going to come out of this game, a lot of people are going to be talking about, is Coby White in the first half versus the second half. First half of this game, Coby White was 0 for 4 from the field for 0 points. Second half of this game, Coby White stood up and played the way that we're used to him playing, going 7 of 11 in the second half from the field, 4 of 7 from three-point range, 22 points overall from Coby White in that second half of the game. He finishes the game with those 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal from Coby White in this game. Patrick Williams, DeMar DeRozan also having really big games in this game for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar, 27 points, going 9 of 13 shooting. Patrick Williams, 25 points, going 8 of 10 shooting. Nikola Vucevic, 12 points from him. They were really playing defense tough on him. He only made 3 shots on the night, 11 rebounds, 3 assists from him, 1 steal. Torrey Craig, 16 points, all in the first half because Torrey Craig went down, did not return in the second half of this game, unfortunately, with a foot injury. Got a lot of foot injuries. The Bulls need to put a podiatrist on payroll because between Zach, AC, and now Torrey Craig, there's a lot of damaged feet on the Chicago Bulls roster. But that's a story for another day. I ain't here to talk about toes. With that said, it's unfortunate the Bulls couldn't pull this game out. When you look at the kind of the gritty stats that we like to talk about here, when we break down games, the Bulls had more steals. The Bulls had only 4 more turnovers than the Miami Heat. Points off turnovers, we lost 18-24. Rebounds, we actually won the rebound battle by 9. We better had with the size that we had out there versus them. We had more blocks in the team. We won the second chance battle. We tied the fast break points. Fast break points battle. They outscored us off the bench 52-22. That's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. Let me run that back again. The Miami Heat scored 52 points off the bench. The Chicago Bulls only 22 points off the bench. With AC being out and Torrey Craig going down in the first half of this game, that left Dalen Terry to play a lot of minutes for the Bulls. He played 16 minutes, only going 1 of 3 from the field. Surprisingly enough, though, and this is something that I want to hear how you guys feel about this. We didn't see a lot of Julian Phillips. Julian Phillips only played 20 seconds in this game. And so the thing that's a problem with that is that when you look at Torrey Craig going down, who matches kind of the size, skill set, the rebounding that Torrey Craig brings? It's Julian Phillips. And this goes back to Billy Donovan, in my opinion, his reluctance to play rookies. And then when you actually rely on them, you need to rely on them. You don't have confidence in them because you haven't seen a whole hell of a lot of them. Dalen Terry in this game played more minutes than Javon Carter and Andre Drummond. And I get it with the matchups and things like that, but it just is really a little head scratching to me that we didn't even go Terry Taylor in this game. Billy Donovan went Dalen Terry more in this game. And don't get me wrong, Dalen Terry had some good defensive moments. He did have 4 personal fouls. He had 2 assists, only 2 points, but he doesn't have the scoring upside. We've seen Julian Phillips look more poised than Dalen Terry consistently. That's the thing that's confusing in this to me. Torrey Craig goes down. You would theoretically think that Billy Donovan is going to use Torrey Craig than a player that he's shown an ability to use before, but he goes Dalen Terry. And while Dalen Terry has a lot of energy, Dalen Terry had some good defensive rotations. He still kind of made some of those head scratching things. Defensively, he got cooked out there. And I'm surprised that Julian Phillips didn't get more tick in a game where Torrey Craig went down. To me, that's just confusing. It's just confusing, but you got to give it up to the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat came into this game. I don't want to make it seem like the Bulls lost this game more than Miami Heat won it, The Miami Heat came into this game with the defensive game plan of putting Jimmy Butler on Coby White, and it took Coby White a whole half to learn how to score on that. And then, as far as Nikola Vucevic, the Miami Heat fronted him on everything, made everything ridiculous, made everything difficult for Nikola Vucevic in this game overall. And so, great game plan by Erik Spoelstra, one of the best adjustment coaches in the NBA. I do not want to take away from what the Miami Heat and Erik Spoelstra did defensively in this game. They took Coby out of it. They knew they were lacking size, took Nikola Vucevic out of it, and they basically looked at the Chicago Bulls and said, all right, the role players are going to have to beat us. And for what it's worth, Patrick Williams stepped in for one of his better games of the season, going 8 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from three-point range, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 25 points. It was good to see Patrick Williams have that type of game, right? But when you look at that, Torrey Craig was cooking also in the first half. Like I said, 16 points, 5 of 7 from the field. Had Torrey Craig not went down, I wonder how this game will look differently in the second half. But give it up to the Miami Heat and Heat culture. Caleb Martin, 17 points. Jimmy Butler, 28 points. Kyle Lowry, 10 points. Kevin Love killed us in the first half of this game. He has 22 points. Jaime Jaquez has 18 points, even though Patrick Williams absolutely posterized that motherfucker this game. But it's just the Miami Heat, this just goes to show what the difference is between a well-coached team, between a team that is playing hard, has some good moments of good coaching, but the Miami Heat are just a good coach team from start to finish of every game. Erik Spoelstra absolutely came out with a great game plan against the Chicago Bulls today, and the Bulls had no answer for it, right? Coby White did eventually get going, and a scorer like Coby White, it's going to happen. Like a scorer like Coby White, even with that said, he's going to have games where he's not able to score. But Jimmy Butler, just defensively, offensively, he's such a great two-way player. Sucks that he's not in the Bulls uniform anymore, but Erik Spoelstra just knows how to get the most out of this roster, knows how to get the most, every drip of talent out of the players on him because he schemes it that way. And this was just a great game, and Erik Spoelstra outcoached Billy Donovan handedly in this game. Not even close, not even up for a conversation. Anybody wants to say, well, how did he outcoach him? It's the talent. No, he got outcoached this game. Erik Spoelstra is amazing. And he's just one of those coaches that set a culture. The Heat culture they had on those jerseys today, it was real. And Heat culture outplayed Chicago Bulls' heart today. That's just what it comes down to. Basketball IQ, all that sometimes be damned. When you have a culture that executes the game plan and a great game plan, you're going to be able to win a lot of basketball games. And that's what we saw happen tonight with the Chicago Bulls, man. Unfortunately, the Bulls just did not have enough. But this was a game where you can still pull some positives out of. DeMar DeRozan defensively is absolutely god-awful. But I other than that, man, you can pull some positive things away from this game. Matthew in the building. He says that ending pissed me off. I mean, bro, I right there with you, bro. Vooch is a terrorist. No, I mean, Vooch got terrorized today. I don't think he's a terrorist. They terrorized Nikola Vucevic today, absolutely. Damn, that was one hell of a comeback. That last shot was soul crushing. Such a poise on it, right? So much poise. It's like Jimmy Butler knew, oh no, I'm about to get this. BKR Sports says this was actual bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Get the rebound. My God, yeah. That's unfortunately. Alex Larez in the building. He says, great game. I mean, really, really good game. I'm actually angry with that one. You and a lot of other people as well, my brother. A lot of other people. That's a frustrating game to lose, man. It was good to see the Bulls be able to battle themselves back, be in a position to win that game. Had a 4-point lead with a little over 2 minutes left in the game. They just weren't able to pull it out, man. And that's unfortunate. That's super unfortunate that the Bulls weren't able to. But listen, they were up against a team that's a better coach team. It just is what it is. It's a better coach team. Vooch is fucking soft for real, man. Grab a board to save his life. Then why is DeMar holding the ball trying to dribble with 2 defenders on him? Yeah, that was a bad play call. Bad execution. Y'all blaming Billy for not calling a timeout, but DeMar needs to be smarter there. It's on him there. I mean, it's on both. It's bad coaching down the stretch, but I definitely get what you're feeling on that one. GFP says Coby in the fourth, though. Unbelievable. Listen, and I said it at the halftime hangout. Coby was going to find a way to get going in this game. I had full trust. Maybe that's blind trust, but I knew Coby was going to find a way to get going. 22 points in just the second half. We're still seeing that star blossom before our eyes. You want to see him shoot better throughout the game. But overall, Coby White was still 7 for 15 from the field, still right at 50% shooting. So still a solid enough night from Coby, but they got some things they definitely need to work on. So 6266 Jamal says, damn shame we wasted this performance from P. Will by eating an L. Definitely agree with you on that one. By the way, where are your voicemails at, bro? Where are your voicemails at? Ricky Fontaine says, get Vooch off this team for a rim running rim protector. Well, you need still more than that, because now if you trade DeMar too, then that's different. But you still need more than that because the spacing. You still need spacing for DeMar to go to work. If we're not going to have that spacing there in that mid-range, you're going to see teams pack it in, and we're going to see more games like this overall. But great point from Ricky, as always. Joe the Blacksmith says, this one hurt me. We out-rebounded them the whole game until the last 2 minutes. We were Butterfingers. I mean, yeah, you can't grab the fucking rebound to BKR Sport. Dimitri says, DeMar lost us the game by holding the ball, man. I'm not going to blame it on just one thing, because guess what? Had the Bulls executed better, we wouldn't have been in that position. This is a game where the Bulls got outscored big in the first and the third quarters, and that really hurt the Chicago Bulls. YHD says, big shout out to Coby White, because all the talk coming out of the gates was start Javon Carter, so way to use that as motivation. Great. Listen, great point. I said it myself. I was wrong on it, period. Why are people on DeMar? You want the slow pace down at the end of the game, or is it going to be trading baskets? Come on, people. I think it's more so the execution of stuff, but I get what you're getting at with that. Let's see. The Enriquez in the building says, DeMar said, fuck it. P. Will got a nice game. I'm a ball hog this to lose the game. Well, listen, DeMar also, let's be fair in this. DeMar's down the stretch is a big part of why we're able to get the lead, tie the game. So let's not act like it was just DeMar and he just negatively impacted the team. He helped put us in a situation where we were even close to winning this game. Coby White did too. I'm not saying it was all on DeMar, but let's not act like DeMar didn't have part of helping us get to the place of even being in position to win this game, because he did. As much as I'm not a DeMar DeRozan guy, he did. So let's see. Julian Phillips might get more minutes with TC injured. Well, let's see how serious that injury is. I mean, in this game, we didn't see Julian Phillips at all. So I don't know what to say on that or what that means, because you would think, like I said earlier, that you would think that this was a game that Billy Donovan would have went to Julian Phillips a little bit more, and he just didn't. A little weird there. A little weird. OTR says no Bam, no Tyler Hero, and we still lost. Yeah, and we also had no Alex Caruso, no Zach LaVine, no Torrey Craig down the stretch of this game. So come on, bro. If we're gonna tell the story, let's tell it all, right? And let's not act like the Miami Heat also aren't a better coach team. They have a better overall player in Jimmy Butler, who was a two-way player who disrupted what Coby White did. Come on, man. Just because players are out, we got to stop acting like, oh, that just means we should win the game. You still got to look at how the game went. So Reginald, what are we doing here? You're saying the Bulls pull-out game is weak? Pause. That's funny. Closeout game. That's how you can say that. You don't have to say pull-out game. I have to disagree with you, Haize. The Heat didn't really outplay the Bulls. It was an up-down game for both ends. Came down to the wire. No, the Miami Heat absolutely. What do you mean they didn't outplay the Bulls? What game were you watching? You mean the fact of the Bulls? I mean, they completely disrupted everything that the Chicago Bulls did throughout the game. Don't make any mistake, because Coby White had 22 points, that they didn't outplay us. They out-executed us on the defensive side of the ball. They fronted Nikola Vucevic. They kept him from getting in position. They made him uncomfortable every time he touched the ball, made it to where the Bulls just couldn't get a pass into Vuce on some possessions where he had mismatches. Go back and watch the game, Matthew. I need you to actually watch and understand the game of basketball. They absolutely outplayed us with their execution. Just because it was a close game down the stretch doesn't mean they outplayed us. The fact that we were even in position shows the moxie that the Bulls played with, but we are absolutely outcoached and outplayed and out-executed in this game. I have no idea where you're getting from saying that didn't happen. None. I have no idea how you could pull out that didn't happen. I don't know what game you're watching, but it absolutely happened. These folks suggesting that we need to get rid of Vooch for rim protection, rim runner, play too much 2K. Be specific. Rim protector, rim runner, who could we get? I mean, you can talk about a framework of a player or a style of play, but that doesn't always mean that play is going to be that type of player is going to be available. BKR Sports says, I don't understand why DeMar is the main one copping smoke. Vucevic and Billy Donovan deserve it just as much. Completely agree with you, and that's why I came into this talking about Billy Donovan got outcoached today by a long shot. Like, it's not even close. The game that Eric Spoelstra coached over Billy Donovan is not even close. Not even close. DeMar scored 11 points in the fourth quarter, grabbed an offensive rebound in the final seconds, but he had a low IQ moment. Completely see now that I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you on that one, right? We can talk about the bad things that DeMar did down the stretch, but let's not act like DeMar did not help us get into this game, because he absolutely did some really good things down the stretch to help the Bulls even get in position to be able to win this game. So let's see what else we got. AC is maybe our most important player. We are 5-0 in games AC has played in this stretch without Levine. I mean, listen, but yeah, but he left early in 2 of those games. So let's be clear on that. He's not the only reason. Now he does help. I don't think anybody can make the argument that AC does not help the Chicago Bulls be in a better position to be able to compete with teams like this, because he absolutely does. And that's why you hear the Chicago Bulls wanting to hold on to him. So yeah, yeah. Soy says, no, it was White's 18th in the fourth that really got. No, it was that pair, because if DeMar's 11th in the fourth didn't happen as well, guess what? We still would have not even been close in this game. Y'all got to stop trying to have so many critiques and be right about something that you can't object. Keep in mind, I don't even like DeMar DeRozan. I'm a guy who I would trade DeMar DeRozan tomorrow, but you got to be able to acknowledge what DeMar did down the stretch of this game to help the Bulls win. And Coby didn't do it alone. And even if Kobe's 18 happened, it would not have been us being in this game if it wasn't also for DeMar DeRozan going 3 or 4 from the field, getting to the free throw line 5 times, hitting all 5 of those free throws, and scoring 11 points. Yes, he made mistakes down the stretch of this game, but he absolutely still helped us get in a position to even be able to win in this game. Period. Tough loss tonight, Haize, but I love the play of P. Will, though. I throw one of my pillows from my couch across the room after that game winner. Hey, that's light work. That's really light work. Can we really expect BD to coach at the level Spo does? I think Spo is the best X and O coach in the NBA right now. He's up there with Phil. Okay, yeah, we're all said that. Who said that we expect him to coach up there? Just saying he got out coached. Period. He got out coached. If you understand the game on a strategic level, you know Spo's out there playing 3D chess. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like Spo is absolutely, he cooked. Like Spo cooked. Spo is an amazing head coach. Amazing head coach. Who's this brother account that you're talking about? I don't even see it. Oh, brother account. What is brother? Get his ass out of there. Ban him here. Here we go. I don't know. We got mods. Why didn't y'all ban his ass? Y'all ain't got to ask me for permission. BKR Sport, let me make you a mod real quick. You got to be able to ban motherfuckers too. Like, don't be afraid. Like, get motherfuckers up out of here. That's it. Don't be afraid. You ain't got to ask me. Get them up out of here. Period. If they acting stupid, they spamming, get their asses up out of here. That's all you got to do. Because people here acting stupid, they gonna be, hey, run up, get done up. That's all I can tell y'all on that one. Let me find BKR Sports so I can make him a mod real quick. Oh yeah. All right, BKR, you good. Now you're a mod. You gotta probably have to refresh to see your wrench, but BKR Sport is now a mod. So there you go. You're a managing mod too. You can get shit done. Um, but yeah, let's keep it going. Drift for Drifter says when DeMar tripped, there were 3 heaters guarding him. 3 heaters? That's what we call them Miami Heat players now. I never seen we doing triple D. First of all, you doing triple D. Hey, you talented. Shout out to you. 3 of them at the same 3 of them? That's crazy, bro. That's wild. But yeah, let's keep it going. Bulls won't grow until DeMar's gone too. I'd rather see the ceiling for P. Will and Coby and Io than keep watching Vooch and DeMar. Well, you're gonna see Vooch here for a while. Like Vooch isn't gonna go anywhere anytime soon. So there you go on that one. Let's see. Rebounds. They fought, which is more than we can say from where we were with this team early in the season. Clean up the boards, limit the bonehead turnovers, and get the W. Facts. Like, yeah, I mean, this is another winnable game for the Chicago Bulls that they can definitely learn from. I would have loved to see Julian Phillips to get those minutes today, but maybe Billy decided today was Terry's time to develop. I don't have a problem with the choice, even though I like Phillips more. I can see where you're coming from with that, right? Like we talk about Billy Donovan not playing DT and DT needing the actual reps to get going, and he got him. He played a lot of time out there today, so we'll end up seeing. Let's see what we got here. We got Ramiro says them not getting rebounds down the stretch definitely hurt them too. That's a fact. Absolute fact in that one. Vooch sucked tonight. I don't care who think that. Had drumming being in rebound would have been in our favor. And Billy changed the hot hand player with terrible Terry. This is why I love Tom Tibbs. Wait a second. Y'all, you got to type in English, Zay over. First of all, Drummond, hot hand player with terrible Terry. Who'd he switch out that had a hot hand with Terry? Like Terry was out there because Torrey Craig was out. People can't play every single minute of every game. You got to give people a breather. But again, I don't think that it changes much with Drummond being out there either, in my opinion. First of all, your name is Hopeful Elect. How about I'm going to do what I want to do on my channel? If you have a problem with it, you can go somewhere else. That's it. I'm not even going to flame you today. You can go somewhere else. CHGO is live right now. You can go over there. Overall, I actually think we're a playoff team. I don't think we're doing anything crazy. Don't get me wrong, but I like this team getting into the playoffs. Hey, I mean, do you now by playoffs? Are you including the play-in, or do you think they can avoid the play? I have to see more. I think that this team is playing playoff style basketball, and that is what I like to see about this team. The way they're competing, the way they're executing, the way they're playing together, the way they're spreading the ball around. It's really good. They got some things that they need to toughen up and tighten up on, but I really do like the way this team is playing, even throughout this loss. Wicked says, hey, no cap, this Bulls team just showed they can compete with anyone. Our record may say otherwise, but this team as a whole, completely different team to where I feel confident we can pull out a W. Hey, listen, I don't pull out very often, but I think we can get some W's. I definitely think that. My heartbreak loss for sure. We have lots of games lost like this. Should have a better record. Pisses me off. Rebound, second chance opportunities, not scoring the last possession hurt us. Oh, keep in mind the scoring droughts. We had tons of scoring droughts in this game as well. And I think when you look at this team, listen, you got to go through this to learn, right? That's one thing that I think we sometimes forget is like, yeah, we're making mistakes down the stretch, but you need to make those mistakes so you can learn how not to make them the next time. And I think that's something that's helping this team as well. These losses to the Milwaukee Bucks, to the Denver Nuggets, to now to the Miami Heat team, a team that you beat a couple of days ago, these are character building losses. And as this team goes forward through the season, they continue to play better together. We'll see what they get back in the Zach LaVine trade, add some more depth to this team. This is still a team with that's playing really good basketball, but they have to go through learning. They don't have a lot of players that have been in situations like this. DeMar, right? Vooch to a degree, but the players like Coby, this was a good game for Coby and learning through his growth, right? Because Coby's still learning how to be that player that can overtake adversity and being one of the best scoring options on the team. So he's learning. This was a really good game for Coby White to learn. I feel like this was a really, really good game for him to learn. All right, bet they put Jimmy Butler on me. Now, how am I going to counteract a team the next time they put some size and length on me? That's a good thing. Kyle says, we got outcoached this game. Stop blaming DeMar. He got us into tie multiple times. 3 blocks, 2 steals. I still can't believe Billy wanted to play same old play that doesn't work at the last second. Listen, one thing that we know is that Billy Donovan doesn't really come up with good inbounds plays. That's just never has been his thing. He's never had that. So Zay over says, you're right, Haize. Was mad when I was typing. Sorry. Oh, you're fine, bro. You're fine, Zay. Like, it is what it is. Like, you have every right to be angry. Like, this is a loss that it's nothing wrong with being upset with how the Bulls lost this game because this was a winnable game. And, it's going to happen over the course of the season, unfortunately. We're all pissed off about it. OTR says, not going to lie, Coby was good. Was good for us, but couldn't get hot enough, pause early enough in the game. I mean, yeah, but the thing is, that's going to happen, right? You want to see a player be able to learn on the fly, to be able to go through that adversity. This is a good game for Coby to learn through. Like, do not get me wrong. Was I frustrated that he couldn't get going early? Absolutely. I absolutely was. But one of the things that I'm taking away positive from this is that Coby, especially in the mode that he's been in, the basketball IQ, how he's showing that he's learning on the fly, this is going to be a really good game for Coby to remember, hey, this is how I can get in rhythm. This is how not to get down on myself, right? This is how I still build that consistency. So, like I said, I'm taking a lot of positives still from Coby White and how he executed down the stretch of this game. I don't want to take that away from him at all. Let's see what else we got. He's okay now for now, JK. If he starts spamming again, I'll send him to the shadow realm. That's hilarious. V-Rod says passive P had to be guarding Jimmy buckets. No, he didn't. He guarded him on some possessions, but not a whole hell of a lot. They switched Coby on him a lot, which I don't like that. But they forced this switch. It wasn't like the Bulls switch on. They forced the switch. Haize, what up? They got 300 section for $90. The Lakers game. We in the building to see Zach new team. That's funny. Carlos says, I'm done with the DeMar slander. 2 years ago, he was doing the same shit and got praised for it. Y'all switched up. No, but DeMar's playing much worse this season. Let's be clear. DeMar's not playing the same. He's not executing the same. That's why his numbers are down all across the board. 2 years ago, yesterday's price is not today's price. So just because you can make that comparison for 2 years ago, it's not the same right now. Come on now. As soon as you seen the ball go into Jimmy's hands, we should have called a timeout. I mean, hey, that's a point. Coby's evolving. He's not a fluke. Today I saw him, even with the bad percentage night, he was still motivating everyone in the timeout. He's a natural leader now. Coby's the leader of this team. DeMar DeRozan is the mentor. Coby White is the leader of this team right now. That just is what it is. Imagine having 2 times out left and we didn't use one of them on the last possession. Yeah, I'm mad at ISO DeMar and can't rebound Pooch, but Billy didn't coach at all those final 90 seconds. I mean, hey, I can't blame you for feeling that way, bro. Can't blame you for feeling that way. Despite Billy being outcoached, we still in the game the entire game. Well, yeah, I mean, we got back in the game. We got back in the game a couple of stretches. Yeah, but I like I said, like the way that we played at times in this game, definitely. Ricky says, keyword 2 years ago, shut the fuck up. That's funny. DeMar age catching up with him. He can't even be mad at dude. I mean, listen, everybody, listen, Father Time is undefeated in sports. The man is old and don't have a chip. Damn. Let's not let that's starting to get slanderous, bro. Mario P in the building says, first off, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, my brother. Says, great content as always, sir. Think of this team as a playoff as possible. In some alternate universe where BD is fired, is there a coach we would hire? Yeah, but like I've said before, don't look at names. I don't want a big name head coach. I don't want the Bulls to go after whatever names available. All right, I want to go after Doc Rivers. Mark Jackson isn't coming. I want them to do their due diligence and find the next great head coach. I want them to find a coach that can come in here, build a system, be young, grow with these young players because we're going to have a much younger roster. That's more so what I would want to see for this team going forth into the future rather than the Bulls just go out and sign a big name. So, BKR Sports says this team will feel so refreshed when LaVine goes. Just need to start the next step. Until LaVine goes, we can't look to the future. Well, I'm going to agree and disagree with that, BKR. I understand your point and you're right? But I think that we're seeing players that are going to be part of that future regardless really starting to shine and blossom. And so because of that, you can look to the future a little bit with that. Like Patrick Williams, the game that Patrick Williams has, I don't want to understate at all. Patrick Williams had even when Coby White wasn't going, Patrick Williams had one of his most consistent games of the season. And you saw it start building, right? And it really started with that dunk on Jaime Jaquez. And it's like at that point in time, Pat just realized, hey, I can do this. When you look at it, 0.0 shots in the first quarter for Patrick Williams. None. He didn't take a single shot. In the second quarter, he went 5 of 7, 3 of 4 for 13 points in the second quarter of the game. In the third quarter of the game, he went 2 for 2 with 7 points. In the fourth quarter of the game, Patrick Williams went 1 of 1. You want to see him get more shots in that fourth quarter. He did have 2 free throw attempts as well in that. I don't know why we went away from Patrick Williams, but again, so that was a consistent game for Patrick Williams for the most part. So like to see that as well as part of the growth. Father Time has been beaten by Braun Ash. Y'all seen Jason Momoa commercial? Nah, he's still going to listen. At some point, it's going to catch up with him. That's why it's always undefeated. At some point, it will absolutely catch up with him. I'm starting petition for Billy Donovan to be fired and Haize to be appointed as bro. I don't know why y'all want that from me. I don't have the makeup, the mentality, or the patience to be a head coach. I would open hand smack a player. Like literally, it'd be the reverse of the Latrell Sprewell. They'd be like, the Chicago Bulls head coach Cordero Johnson is fired today after open hand smacking Patrick Williams after Patrick Williams decides to take no shots in 3/4 of the game. No, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. Great point, Haize. Thank you again. Thank you, Mario P, for supporting the channel. You're the only one who gave a super chat tonight, even though I'm delivering this fire content. I appreciate you guys on that one. What do you think about the lineup with Vooch out and Dalen in? I liked it. Thought Dalen held his own defensively. Dalen did good defensively in stretches, right? Consistently throughout the whole game, no. But in stretches, yes. My thing is that same lineup, but you replace Dalen Terry with Torrey Craig, you got something there if a team goes small ball on you. That's what I think. Brazil popular. Henry Drell would have played, but no, he wouldn't. Like, come on now. We got to stop. No, that's cap. Henry Drell would have not been better. Not been better than Dalen Terry, especially not defensively. They need to move and cut without the ball, and our pick and roll defense needs to improve. We missed so many 50-50 balls tonight. P. Will is our X factor for this year. Well, the thing with the pick and roll defense, we have two of the worst pick and roll defenders in the league in DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic. And then when Zach was out there, you got three of the worst pick and roll defenders in the league. So it's a difficulty to take that, right? To have that many bad players in the defenders in the pick and roll. Lonzo helped you go, but you're not going to see a lot of that in other places. So Charles Oakley for head, come on, bro. What? Charles Oakley? Come on, man. Come on, man. The only thing Charles Oakley can do is coach you in the debt. Like that's one thing he can do. He can coach you in the debt, gambling debt. That's about it. Charles Oakley ain't coaching much more than that, my brother. No. If Zach was in the game, he would have jacked up a heavily contested double team three from 20 foot out with 13 seconds left on the shot clock. That's oddly accurate, brother. The dunk on Captain Morgan was legendary. Patrick also showed some bursts of speed today I've never seen before. Listen, Pat is coming into his own as well. Not at the same level that Coby White's doing, but he's coming into his own. We had a voicemail on today's mailbag that I really agreed with. They said Patrick Williams is a year away from being maybe taking that next step like Coby White has. Now, I don't think it's going to be the same level. I don't think Patrick Williams is all going to sudden turn into like the gravity that Coby White has. But when you look at Pat defensively, he's been on lately. Energy plays, getting those offensive rebounds. He's fighting for those, the putbacks. Patrick Williams is close. He's close, man. Let's hope that it happens. Like I said before, I'm not believing it until it actually happens, but we'll see. DT actually played pretty decent. It's up to the coaches to switch him off Haize when it becomes obvious the entire arena he was too small and Haize continuously took him to the paint. Agree with that one. Definitely agree with that one. Father Time will catch up with LeBron when they find his HGH distributor. That's crazy. That's wild. That's tough. This hurts too much. Come on, bro. We've been through way worse than this, man. If this hurts too, bro, you got to stop, man. Did you lose your girl? Is everything okay at home? Did she leave you? Did she leave to go to stay at her mama's house for a little while? What's happening, bro? Like you gotta let me know what's happening, man. I'm worried about you, bro. I'm worried about you. Carter is playing like ass. I hope they get him out of here with Zach LaVine as. Hey, if you guys watched my Zach LaVine trade special episode that I dropped today, so I dropped the episode on all the potential suitors for Zach LaVine. No, it wasn't on that one. It was actually on the daily episode. I'm confusing my episode. This is my 6th episode today. So the daily episode, the mailbag episode I dropped today, I talked about players who were likely to be traded before the end of the trade deadline. I actually talked about that is that because the Bulls only have one open roster spot, in most of the trades for Zach LaVine, the Bulls are going to be getting back 3 players, which means they're going to have to send an additional player out with Zach LaVine. And unfortunately, I could see Javon Carter being that, especially if he ends up being the Lakers and them giving up. Like if a Gabe Vincent comes over here, the Bulls may send Javon Carter in that trade with him. So don't be surprised if Javon Carter is moved, which is crazy because I wouldn't have thought that coming into the season. Wouldn't have thought that. JK says, I think Pat is starting to come out of his shell. Late bloomer, I guess. Hey, he's a grower, not a shower. I mean, maybe that's the case. The Zach jokes are tired. He doesn't want to be here, and I can't blame him. The Bulls had this game, but let it go away because of the execution down the stretch. People has a chance to be a solid role player. Yeah, I mean, most players are role players, right? And in the same sense, there are a lot of role players that still average, get you like 17 and 6. So Patrick Williams has tons of potential. It's up to him to hit it. Because at this point, I'm not, like I said in the video that I had, I'm not betting on the potential of Patrick Williams anymore. But if he does hit it, that's on him. That's on him. We got L in the building. Haven't seen L for a while. Says, I hope someone said that DeMar messed this win up right at the end of the game. Shaking my head. I mean, he definitely had some things down the stretch that he messed up on. Definitely. Are you telling me that Zach would have executed down the stretch at Black Prophet? He's a huge at times, but a massive negative of his game is literally not executing down. Okay, you guys are in a convo. You guys are in the convo. Move Bateem Taylor. What for? What? You can't move a two-way contract player. Joe, you got familiarize yourself with the rules, brother. I think DeMar plays like he still has something to prove to the Raptors 5 or 6 years ago. Everyone who doubted him, that's why he feels he needs to do hero ball so much. He has made big shots, but still, no, I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's always been DeMar DeRozan's game. It has nothing to do with that, bro. Now, this I completely agree with it. Nobody wants Klay. Stop it. Like, I don't understand where people are getting with this Klay Thompson shit. Klay Thompson is god awful trash. Y'all complain about Zach LaVine, but you talking about wanting Klay Thompson on this team? Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Let's at least give Pat as much time as Coby next year, as you said. Yeah, Pat. Listen, Pat is getting his second contract here. It's happening. Get over it. It's happening. Especially as he's playing now. He's getting his second contract. When should we expect movement in the trade market? Like I said, the market for Zach LaVine, most of the teams that are rumored have players that probably can't be moved until January 15th. So, like I said, we got another month of this at least. It may not happen to the end of January. So, don't be surprised if that's the case. Kyle P. Bulls says, with Zach trade talks heating up, Vooch thought he could be completely sorry without us noticing. No, he didn't. What? Y'all conspiracy theorists got to chill, bro. No, there was a reason why he was called a Splash Brother. Yes, Klay Thompson is trash. Benton, do you actually watch the game of basketball like today? Klay Thompson's trash. One of the worst shooting percentages of his career. One of the worst outputs of his career. Everything is bad. Klay Thompson is washed. It's it. It's done. Father Time has caught up with him. He's called Splash Brother because of what he did. Nobody would be calling Klay Thompson a Splash Brother if he didn't have that nickname already, Ben 10. What do you be talking about? You be really in the past, bro. Wake up. People with Klay Thompson don't watch Golden State games. They just remember him from the late 2010s and the name he makes. He makes the casuals one of them. Facts. Agreed. There's no way that you can convince me you watch modern day basketball if you're trying to say that Klay Thompson isn't washed. And that's not even a slight on him. Klay Thompson is great. Klay Thompson has had a hell of a career. He's done amazing things. He's a 4-time NBA champion for a reason. But Klay Thompson is washed. That's it. It's a fact. This isn't for debate. He's washed. It's done. It's done. Jordan says, I definitely don't want Klay Thompson. LOL. Not much of an upgrade. Exactly. It's a downgrade. Big downgrade. I like the idea of making Lonzo Ball Chicago's coach. Lonzo Ball would be a terrible head coach. Bulls for life. Klay Thompson is the last effing thing this team needs. His ass is old and broken. First of all, broken ass is wild. That's wild. That's wild. He said he got a broken ass. Hey, that's crazy. Klay only making splashes in the toilet bowl lately. That's crazy. That's wild. I'll take Klay Thompson with the expensive Kuminga and Moody, then buy Klay out. No, that's still Kuminga doesn't have the. I've said it on today's episode. Go and look at that trade video, Ricky. You know you're my brother, but I'm not that high on Kuminga where I'd even be willing to take Klay Thompson's deal back. I just wouldn't. I don't think that Kuminga hits that ceiling to where it makes it worth it on taking Klay Thompson's deal. I just don't see it. I don't believe in it. I mean, it doesn't mean that the Bulls won't do it because, as we know, this front office looks at the world differently. But no. And then even with buying Klay out, that's a hell of a buyout. That's a hell of a buyout. What is he? Oh, no, he's in the last year of his deal. I don't know why I thought Klay had more years left on his deal. So, yeah, that's not that bad. But I'm good on that. Good on that. I propose a trade idea if Golden State gets desperate with Drake's suspension. CP3, Kuminga, future first for Levine. CP3 has good. No, I don't care about that. CP3 is another washed up ass bastard. Why do we want washed up? So you want to like just listen, just go trade Zach Levine for 5 people at the fucking nursing home. They got less salary in that case. You talking about CP3? No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that, man. I'm good. I'm good. Nope. He says, I'd rather keep Levine. What the fuck y'all talking about? That's crazy. No one wants CP3's done. Kuminga is just taller and less productive. P. Will. Kuminga is a project. I mean, yeah, but I think that's somewhat of what the Bulls do want. Now they do want some proven talent too, but I do think if the Bulls wouldn't necessarily shy away from a player that's quote unquote a project in the Zach Levine trade. Yo, Haize, do you think we should have threw Drum in there at the end? I mean, I'm of two minds with that because I don't think that you bet on Vooch not being able to get a rebound like that often, right? I just don't think you want to bet on that often. But I mean, in hindsight, yes. Don't want anybody over 27, to be honest, unless it was a superstar and they aren't on offer. First of all, Archangel, just because you a Cougar, you ain't got to tell us all of that. Like, we don't have to know that you don't want people under 27. Your husband's under 27 years old. You sly fox, you know. I know what you mean. I definitely understand where you're getting at with that. I'm not saying CP3 is good. It would be a year rental, can decline his option next year, open up $30 million for no, it wouldn't open up $30 million for a different player. The Bulls still be over the cap. So no, and it's even with that, I'm good on that. I don't want CP3 on this team at all. I'm good on that. Preseason? Wait, is that no, please don't tell me you just try to use preseason to try to explain why. Come on, bro. Come on, Drew. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here, man? What do we do? You preseason? Preseason? Really? What are we talking about here, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy. At this point, Chris Dunn and Denzel Valentine would be a better trade. First of all, Chris Dunn, are you missing Chris Duhon and Chris Dunn? Are they merging? They doing the fusion dance? Is that what's happening? Because that's not how Chris Dunn spells his name. But just throwing you some fun at you, but yeah. Mr. Christopher says Javon Carter been beating the bullet lately. Straight ball cheeks. Facts. That's an absolute fact. Straight ball cheeks. Hey, he may have to get up out of here, bro. Bro, Denise Rodman came to the Bulls when he was 30. Denise? We had somebody on this team. I didn't know that they were allowing the crossover with the WNBA. We had Denise Rodman on this team. That's crazy. That's wild. Pablo, listen, your name's Pablo, bro. You're named after a backyard again. You can never out-talk the game of basketball when you talking about something, you're a casual, bro. First of all, spell right. If you're going to try to come at somebody, don't spell it like you're a fucking moron. How about that first, Pablo? Stop. Like I said before to you, bro, I understand that you want attention from a grown-ass man because your daddy didn't do nothing for you but tell you to go in the room while he face fucked your mama. But don't try to come take that out on this live stream, bro. Get your life together. Your man crush on me ain't going. I'm not your daddy. I won't parent you. I will never come parent you, bro. It's not going to happen. I'm not your daddy. I'm not the pappy. I'm sorry your daddy abandoned you. You ain't got to try to come taking this out in here, bro. It's not going to work for you, Pablo. What up, Haize? Hey, would you trade Zach Levine for Rudy Gobert? No. If that's the best deal that you get, but otherwise, no. Pablo being named Pablo is a fucking problem. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. That's crazy. What's funny is nobody can actually come up with any trade ideas in the chat. They just shit on everyone else's. Let's hear yours, fool. I mean, listen, you can point out a bad trade idea without necessarily have to have a better one, but I get what you're coming at with that one. Chris Dunn's been balling in Utah. What are you talking about? I wouldn't want him on the Bulls, but he got that dog in him. I mean, listen, I'm glad that Chris Dunn was able to come back and come back into the NBA. Like, because Chris Dunn, keep in mind, that was the main piece the Bulls wanted in the trade for Jimmy Butler, was Chris Dunn. So I'm glad that he was able to come back, find a role for himself, do some things like that. But talk about he's been balling lately. Come on, bro. What's the baseline of saying somebody's been balling? The dude has only had one game this season, two games this season where he scored in double digits. How's he balling? He's being cool. He's playing cool. He's showing that he can be a defender, still averaging over 2 steals per game. He can defend his ass off. But let's not say balling, bro. What are we talking about balling? That's not balling, bro. That's not balling. That's that. Y'all throw words around too much, bro. Balling. Balling. What the hell? Balling. That's not balling. That's crazy. That's wild. Balling. Backyardigans. Haize is a wild boy. Hey, what back? Hey, listen, my son used to watch Backyardigans. Listen, I'm not hating on that. My son used to watch Backyardigans. That was kind of fun. Getting a decent vet and basically two firsts seems like the best you can get for LaVine. There's no market. The Bulls, YT YouTube GMs think they got better trades. Laugh my ass off. Getting a decent vet and basically no, that's not. You got to look at what it is, and again, it's going to be a better trade than that. Pablo, why do you want attention? Imagine hating on nobody. It's just a stupid name, and you could have chose any name to be on YouTube. You choose a stupid dumbass name, and you chose to have stupid dumbass takes. Listen. Like I said before, I have been in Spain, but I guarantee you I didn't smash your mama. And if I did, I'm still not your daddy. So listen, Pablo, I get it, bro. You're stupid. You were raised in Spain. You want to find a way to connect to Bulls fans. This ain't it for you, bro. This is not it for you. Listen, I understand that when you don't get breast milk, your brain is underdeveloped. And I also understand that they don't have fluoride in the water over there, so your teeth are already jacked up. They're a little bit sensitive, like your takes. I understand all this, bro. But all I'm saying is this ain't the spot for you to take all that out on, man. You got to go somewhere else. You got to find your daddy and just tell your daddy you miss that he didn't love you. That's it, bro. I can't replace what your father didn't give you. That's not my place to do. I can't do that for you. But what I can do is I can help you understand the game of basketball. That's what we're here to do. You got to figure it out, bro. You're named after a cartoon character. I'm sorry that I know you didn't pick your own name, but that just shows that your mama's still a floozy, that she was too busy worried about sucking dick than picking a quality name for her child. That's not on me. I didn't do that to you. You ain't got to take that out on me, bro. You ain't got to take that out on me. I didn't do that to you, bro. I promise you. I didn't do that. Had I been your daddy, I would have picked a better name than Pablo, bro. I promise you. Promise you. Haize, who do you think might or should be traded in this window? Javon Drummond, what are you feeling? Actually talked about that on today's daily episode, the mailbag episode. So check that out there, brother. Chris Dunn was developing nicely until he fell on his teeth after a breakaway dunk. He hasn't been the same player since. Glad to see him. No, he wasn't developing nicely. He had flashes. And I think that is when Chris Dunn always had a stretch of it. I remember there was one February where that month of February, Chris Dunn averaged like 22 and 10. And I was like, hey, we got a point guard of the future. This guy's going to turn. And it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. So, it is what it is there, man. We need a name change for the channel. Central Roast your ass. That's funny. Oh, man. If we get Siakam in a deal for LaVine, do you think DeMar will just slide to the 2? DeMar's not a 2 anymore in this league. That's terrible spacing. And Siakam, I'll tell you what right now, we not getting Siakam, fam. We not getting that. Chicago Roast Central. That me and Pat the Designer should start that and just start roasting people. Hey, hopeful. Like, what's not funny is that you look like those down low motherfuckers who like Dwight, bro. We found Dwight. Dwight, bro? Thank you for showing up, man. You didn't have to show up on your burner, Dwight. You could have used your actual page, my guy. It's okay, Dwight. Shout out, y'all. Give it up for Dwight Howard in the chat, y'all. Give it out for Dwight Howard in the chat. Fresh off those allegations, Dwight Howard came through, man. He's shutting it down for the channel, bro. Shout out to you for repping, bro. Shout out to you for repping, man. That's crazy. At this point, DeMar could lead the bench if we got a better small forward. I don't think he'd be willing to come off the bench yet. I mean, We'll see, but I don't think so. If we don't, if we do that Toronto trade and get Poto, I think Dallas could be interested in Vooch. Maybe get Grant Williams or something else. Need a backup. Ooh, Grant. Let me say, Grant Williams isn't terrible, and I know somebody in the chat said that he's terrible. Grant Williams isn't terrible at all, but I don't know, man. I don't necessarily see it, man. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We over our time, man. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to this post-game show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you subscribe. If you subscribe, I won't roast you. No, I'm just playing. Hit the subscribe button, man. Thank you guys so much for being the best part of Chicago Bulls Central, even hopeful elect 144. I love you guys. Go Bulls. See red. I'll be back tomorrow with the mailbag. Hit the voicemail if you want to send in something for the voicemail. 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Peace, y'all.